大家好，欢迎收看今天的节目。我们一直知道英国跟爱尔兰之间一直有一种非常特别的关系，尤其是在他们的历史当中。那么这期节目呢，我们将聊一聊大英帝国和爱尔兰之间的爱恨情仇。让我们一起进入今天的对话。
So the Rising was just a battle, really, but it leads to the War of Independence against the English, the British.
Is it after the First World War?
Yeah, after the First World War, so 1920s.
1920s.
That's, again, fairly disastrously fought by the British. One of the things they do is send an army called the Black and Tans, who are mercenaries, they're ex-convicts, they're ex-soldiers. They go to fight for the British in Ireland, and they're notoriously brutal. So there are some terrible massacres, there are some terrible assassinations, they're hated by the people. England is really losing the sort of popular consensus. The Irish become led by a brilliant soldier called Michael Collins and another very clever politician called Eamon de Valera. They're rather brilliant. They do some brilliant stuff. Collins famously has this night when he kills lots of English intelligence officers. The British respond by murdering people at Croke Park, which is a football stadium, and the whole thing becomes a disaster. So the English kind of withdraw, basically.
The stadium.
Yeah.
Is that the stadium that Queen Elizabeth went?
Visited, she did. That's right. She went to Croke Park.
It's kind of a symbol of.
Yeah. Because it's quite a big deal, really, because that stadium also hosts Gaelic games. Sports which only the Irish really play. So it's very much kind of a symbolic space, of Irish nationalism. So,
and how long did it last?
The War of Independence?
Yes.
I'm not a historian, but I think no more than a year or two. It was quite brief, and ends with the British
win.
No, not winning. Agreeing or trying to find an agreement with the Irish about what should happen. And that becomes really the point of history that leads to the rest of Irish history. Because the debate was, should we agree with the English to rule the south of Ireland and leave Northern Ireland as part of Britain? So this is the point at which Ireland is divided into two. And amongst the Irish, there was disagreement. So Michael Collins, and other people, but as a name, Michael Collins wanted to accept that deal. We'll have Ireland, we'll leave the Northern Irish alone. Eamon de Valera and Fianna Fáil, the other side, wanted the whole of Ireland. So then there was a civil war. So those two Irish factions fought.
That leads to the war we mentioned about.
So the Irish Civil War is when Juno and the Paycock is set.
The play set.
The play is set. So I think Plough and the Stars is set during the Easter Rising. Shadow of a Gunman, I think, is set during the War of Independence. It is. And Juno is set during the Civil War. So O'Casey's three great plays all locate themselves in the city of Dublin, all in a similar part of the city where O'Casey lived during those three key historical moments. The Plough and the Stars takes place during the Easter Rising. So by the time the Civil War resolved, Ireland became the Irish Free State. Ulster, Northern Ireland, remained British and is to this day. So Ireland remained neutral during the Second World War, gained full independence just after the Second War in 1949, and since 1949 it's been known as the Republic of Ireland, or ERA in Irish, and that's still the situation today. From the 1960s onwards, there was an ongoing war in Northern Ireland, which was essentially between the Protestant majority and the Catholic minority, about 2/3 to 1/3. That conflict resolved more or less in the 1990s.
1990s?
Yeah, it was a thing called the Good Friday Agreement.
Good Friday Agreement.
Yeah, but still the rumbles continue to this day. So in a way, that battle in Northern Ireland is not fully resolved.
Is it inside Northern Ireland? It is not very related to Republic of Ireland.
It always spilled over. So when I was growing up in London, there were quite often bombs in London.
Because of Northern Ireland?
Yeah, so the Irish Republican Army, the IRA, would quite often bomb England. In fact, my uncle Leonard was injured in a bomb in London, the Old Bailey bomb.
1960s?
No, not the 60s, no. 70s, 80s, 90s, I mean, all the way through. It kind of continued. And similarly, there were occasions when that violence broke out in Southern Ireland. Quite early on, there were some terrible bombs.
How about like underground station when they say assaulted? Is there something related to that bomb, or it is the other kind of case?
That little stupid saying came much later.
Oh, okay. So it's not like directly related to the bomb.
It's more that's directly related, I would say, to more kind of Islamist terrorism, later terrorism. But it's funny. It's not funny. Not funny. There's never been a time in London when somebody wasn't trying to bomb it.
Okay.
Because during my whole kind of childhood, it was the IRA, and then it became
the other kind of issue.
Al Qaeda, or whatever. Okay. The other kind of issue. Yeah, exactly.
Well, London is a very dangerous place.
Well, I mean, it's a big city, but
why don't they like put security check before people get into underground station?
I think that would really slow things down, wouldn't it? I mean, there were times in fact, I think it's funny. I remember when there were a lot of bombs in bins. So there was a period when you couldn't. There were no bins in underground stations, and now, of course, there are see-through bags. So it's had a lasting effect.